How's it going, everyone? Actually, today I want to teach you certain sort of intermediate or hard concept in Python called class. So, how do we approach class? How do we understand class? And what is a class? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in terms in defining like the exact definition of a class. I just want to solve these questions and help you understand how this class is utilized and why we are constructing following context. First of all, let's read the question. So define a class which has at least 5 methods. First method's gonna be get integers. So this get integer method inside this class should get 2 integers from console input, and then the print integers here. This method should serve printing integers, and add integer should add 2 integers together. Subtract integers is to subtract 2 integers. Power integer is to get the power of the first integer to the second integer. To the power of, I mean second integer. What I'm saying is, also please include test function to test the class methods. Use underscore int method to construct some parameters. So in Python, the way you start a class is keyword class. Do not capitalize C. I'm gonna call this class input integer out. Okay, does not take any parameters. And in order for us to construct a class, we need a constructor. What I mean by that is when we instantiate this class, the constructor is going to be auto-generated. So every time we start our constructor or method in Python, we start with def, so underscore init, underscore self. This self does not mean anything. I mean, it means something, but like you don't have to worry too much about it. It's by default. Like every time you start your method or constructing Python, you need to fill out something in this parameter function method parameter, and every time it's called self. You can add like second or third parameters, but we're not gonna talk too hard things in here today. I'm gonna say self dot num1 equals 0, self dot num2 equals 0. This is just to instantiate our initial values of number 1 value and number 2 value. And as we see here, we need to get integer, right? So it's the same logic, get integer. Make sure you don't have any typo here. The way we do it is self.num1 is int input enter your first integer. Exactly the same code. What you do here, you need to get the second input from the user. That's what this get integer is doing. And we need to check whether we get our integers properly or not by saying print integer, right? Print integer. By the way, all I'm writing about the style of what I'm writing is called camel case, and you can find online what the meaning of the camel case. The another type is called snake case. I'll say the print. So first integer is self dot num1 by this point, hopefully, and exactly the same thing. I won't say self. First integer is self dot num2. So that's how I check my own way of methods. And okay, so we can just stop here and see. We can check every time like whether we're on the right track or not. The way I do it, I guess, is to make an like integer sample, stuff like that. We need to make an instance of this class by calling this class. So input integer out, and I would say this int sample dot get integer. So that's how I get integer, and int sample dot print integer. And let's see what we get here. So enter your first integer. How about 10? Enter your first integer. How about 10? Actually, I'm sorry. Guess that it should be enter your second integer here. So what this one is basically asking here is what is your second integer? This code is run by this line, get integer part, as you see here, because that's taking the user input and converting it to integer part. So 20. So first integer is 10, second integer is 20, as you see here. So we're on the right track. We're good to go. How about add integer? How do we do that? Def add integer. for us to see clearly, I can just add a little space here. Def add integer. Okay. Here, you can pass this to parameters here. Okay. Because we already know what self the number 1 integer and number 2 integer is. Okay. And then what you can do is, okay, I want to add, I want to say, hey, I would say the sum of these two integers is self.num1 plus self.num2. Okay, so let's try to add integer then. How about int sample dot add integer, and let's see. Okay, so it seems that this method is not working here because we cannot pass parameter in this way, I think. Let's just stick to our original way and see if this is working. Enter first integer 10, 20. So sum of these two integers is 30. So that's what this add integer is doing here. And then so that's how we get integers. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's try to subtract integer. Def subtract integer. Okay, same logic. And I'll say print the difference between these two integers is, we can say abs with absolute value, num1 minus self dot num2. Okay, so how about like 100 and 200? So the sum of these two integers is 200, and we can add, oh, I didn't print it out, I'm sorry, int sample dot subtract integer. Okay, so let's say 500, or still 300 and 500. What are the differences? It's 200. That's how we do it. Let's try to get like power, to get the power of the first integer to the power. So in order for us to do that, we need to like import a math library. You can say import math. There are multiple ways to do it, or from math import power, POW. And then what I want to do here below is, hey, I want to make power integer method and print the power of first integer to the second. How do I like explain this? The result of the first integer to the power of the second integer is, right? The way you do it is, because we're using power here, power self.num1 comma self.num2. So this is how you use power here. And again, we need to check whether int sample dot power integer. Okay, so I'd say, what is 10 to the third, right? We can say 10 to the third is, there you go, is 1,000. So this is sort of the basic grasp, or there are multiple ways of doing it, but this is one of the simplest way that you can construct and take sort of the Python class here. I guess there are multiple ways. Like previously I tried, like putting some parameters inside here and see how those are related. The main key important thing is, okay, when after you instantiate the previous values, initial values, like integer number 1 and integer number 2, like after you get integer, by default, like this, whatever its big background into memory, it's going to be updated over the input here. So that's the key. But that's how all the following methods are able to keep track of the informations retrieved from this getInteger method. Thank you for watching my video, and please subscribe to my channel. If you like it, please press like, and feel free to leave any comments or questions. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.